Welcome to the Business of Beauty, where we help beauty entrepreneurs in building their business and reaching their dreams. This is your host, David Lee. Our guest today offers legal services and consultancy solely for businesses in the beauty and cosmetic industry. She is proud that they are the foremost and only beauty cosmetic specialists in Africa. Her superpower is running a full-time master's program in law in one state and ensuring her firm is fully operational in another state. Well, welcome to the show, Imaobong at the Beauty Lawyer. Welcome.
Thank you, David Lee. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, same here. I'm really excited. So tell me a little bit more about, yourself and your law firm.
Okay, my name is Imaobong Nkanga-Ekwere. I hope you can pronounce that. So I run a law firm called the Beauty Lawyer. What we strictly do is that we handle all legal aspects for people, beautypreneurs in the beauty industry. We mostly focus on consumer protection, which is like that's the highest. I can't call it the highest, but that is the most important aspect of law we really handle. We also handle trademark and patent registration as intellectual property. Let me call it industrial property. That's the right word to use, rather intellectual property. Then we also handle company registration, and then we're mostly kind of like your external legal advisors. So those are our strong points. Any other aspect of law that anybody contacts us for, we just simply outsource it to capable hands that we have worked with over time and are gurus in their field, and we trust them, because that's another issue. People might trust me, but people might not be able to trust them. So I can tell you that, oh yeah, that is very trustworthy. Then I'm a wife. So I'm a mom to be very soon.
Ooh, congrats.
Then I think that's a little about me.
Okay, nice. Now, with your, from your law firm perspective, like what type of questions do your clients mostly come to you for? Like, what are some of the most common questions you get asked?
Trademark.
Trademark.
Trademarking is a problem. Yes, they feel it's not important, and unfortunately, we have to show them that it is as important as their name.
Oh, okay.
That from the trademark you can make as much money as possible. I have to cite examples from big cosmetic brands they can ever imagine, from Estee Lauder's to Elizabeth Anda. I have to show them, hey, this brand, you can't just pick up more money and try to get a name or make a name as close to their name. Hey, they would come for your neck. You don't try that. Now that is what trademark is about. Trademark, you're protecting your name, you're protecting the brand. So most of the time when they come and say, is it really necessary? And I'm like, geez, it is as necessary as the hair that grow in your hair, or as necessary as the bread you breathe. It is that important, particularly to your business.
Yeah.
Then here in Nigeria, we have this agency called NAFDAC. They are the ones that regulate cosmetic production, drugs, food. You have to register with them, because you have to certify that yet it is proper or good for consumption rather. So I make them understand that you can't just wake up one morning and then formulate things and then think it's okay for someone to use on his or her body. No, you have to go through the proper legal route, and one of them is to get your NAFDAC registration. So those are mostly one of the few of the questions I get a lot from clients.
Okay, yeah. So one is definitely the trademark areas, and then there's other pieces like, I mean, I guess I can see that. Like, I'm sure the viewers watching, like, I just want to create my product. I just want to just sell it to my, to the market, but there has to be a process that protects not only the business, but also your customers, and make your customers feel comfortable, right? And having that process in there. So a little bit more on the trademark side, since I'm sure our viewers are very interested in that. So you said, okay, trademark is as important as what? Your head on top of your body, right? Like, let's talk about like what happens, or what could happen if you don't have a trademark. What are the consequences?
Well, the consequences are that or let me use one. For instance, you could actually be using a name that has been already trademarked by another brand. And then this name, you're so passionate about it that you've branded it in such a way that you are already beginning to be known. Then
Okay.
unfortunately, the other brand that is not even, nobody knows him or her, but she got all her legal issues right, can wake up one man and say, hey, stop using my name. Take it down. And then all your hard work of many years just go down the drain.
Yeah.
You have to start afresh. It's not something I want to do, and it's not something I would advise anyone to even want to attempt. All of this is because you just didn't get your legal procedure right. Everything has to follow steps. Everything has to follow procedure before you start branding, of which even trademark is part of a branding.
Yeah.
Before you start branding or selling your name, you just have to get all those legal issues set aside, and then you start moving.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs don't think about. And it's like, yeah, what about the future? What about, like a year, 3 years, 5 years from now? So I can come from a marketing perspective and say, yeah, they're spending a lot of money in their building their logo, their website, their brand, and social media. And then everyone knows you by that name, and all of a sudden you get a cease and desist letter, right? You mail like, wait a minute, hold on, why are you using our name? Even though they might not even be in the cosmetic space. That would be the unfortunate part, right? They're not even in the cosmetic space, but you've taken their quote unquote name.
You have to be in the actually, you have to be in the cosmetic space. For instance, if I get a name, I'm sorry, I have to use this name. If I want to use the name David Lee,
yeah,
that's my beauty brand.
yeah.
For
Hey, that'd be
instance,
an awesome beauty brand name. No, I was kidding.
and then in the cosmetic industry. You cannot wake up one morning and call your own David Leo. No, you can't do that. I won't allow it.
Yeah.
You're also in the cosmetic industry. I'm also in the cosmetic industry. No, we cannot. We can't clash. Maybe, except if you're in the manufacturing industry, maybe you're manufacturing spare parts. That's allowed, because there's no how anybody can link cosmetics to manufacturing auto spare parts. No. But insofar we're in the same industry, you cannot use that name. I have restricted you for life.
Okay. So you're saying, like, if there was a different, in this case, David Lee in a different industry, that's okay. But if you trademark it in the cosmetic space, in that cosmetic industry, then no other cosmetic company can use that name David Lee, since that name is already trademarked. Got it. Okay, that's interesting. I learned something new today. Now, regarding the trademarks, now I know you cover Africa. I mean, is it different, state by state? Is it the same throughout the whole continent, or also the world? So what are some of the things like this legal practice? Like, I mean, I know I'm in the U.S. Trademark's absolutely important. It sounds very similar. Like, you should always check your trademark. So from an audience perspective, like, hey, I'm in the UK, I'm in Australia, I'm in the US. Does this still apply?
Well, this applies substantially. What I mean is that legally, based on the law, it applies. However, the procedures differs.
Yeah.
For instance, I can't move to UK and then help someone to trademark a cosmetic business unless I am licensed to do that. That's the
Okay.
difference.
Got it. Got it.
However, I can do that here in Nigeria. So what we do is that we partner with a law firm in UK, and say a trademark law firm or a beauty law firm that actually handles this area of law, and say, hey, we are bringing this client to you. She wants to do something and so thing. Help her out. So that is what we do. Procedurally, it's different
Yeah.
because different jurisdictions have different procedure on how to go about it. When I say jurisdiction, I actually mean different nation states. However, most of the nation states, that is countries, let me pipe on using the legal terms.
Yeah.
Most of the countries in the world, the laws on trademark are the same because most of us domesticated the treaties, the intellectual property and industrial property treaties down into our country. So obviously it will be the same, but how to go about it practically will be different.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's good to hear. Now, so actually, you answered another question of mine. Like, what if someone wanted to, take their product internationally? So at that point, you would say, all right, where do you want to take your product to? And you would work with the law firm in that country to make sure that trademarks are covered.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, so other than trademark, the other area is making sure that essentially, so like, is it like, do you mean like the product pretty much being certified by the manufacturer, knowing that it follows certain regulations? The other common question that
Actually,
you get asked?
it's not the manufacturer that will certify your product. It's actually the agency in charge of um, um, regulating those products in your country that will certify it. The reason being that here in Africa, many brands just wake up one morning and mix things that we do not understand. And at the end of the day, it's injurious to the health of the customers, the consumers. It might not be now. Sometimes the injury is not just short term, the injury might be long term, example, cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is what we're trying to avoid, because for any time you put on something, anytime you put up any cosmetic product on your skin, it's been absorbed into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we are saying that, hey, before you sit and formulate cosmetics product, or before you sit and formulate skincare product, please, I know it's a bit expensive, but just try and at least for a start, have your best sellers regulated by this agency, because it will make me feel comfortable knowing that, hey, for NAFDAC to actually certify this person as being worthy, then I'm very okay to actually use a product. That's all we're telling our clients.
Yeah.
And that way to make that consumers comfortable to say, oh, for her to actually take this step, that means our product will definitely be very good. And then you go ahead and do it. That's just
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah. And so I can see definitely benefits from, getting it approved by the agency. And now, just to clarify, the agency is a government agency, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's almost like, I mean, the US, it sounds like it's like the FDA, right? The Food and Drug Administration.
Exactly. That I was trying to recall the name in US, but I wasn't able to pick it. I was like, what's the name again? My name is FTA, but I couldn't pick.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
remember.
It's like the FDA. So, and I totally get that. Now, what happens if they don't? And let's say they sell their products to a customer, and all of a sudden they put their cream on their arms, and they start getting a rash. Okay, can the customer now file a lawsuit against the business?
Oh, yes. Yes, a very big, mighty yes.
Yeah.
As bigger than the head. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah. So as this is the stuff that would keep me up at night. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep, if I know it's almost like knowing that, yeah, I built this wonderful house, but I just kept all the doors open. So anyone can go in and just like break into that. They don't need to break in, they just walk right in. And this is a vulnerability, a risk that I'm seeing. So can you explain more, like what happens in that process? Like what happens if the business gets sued?
Oh, it's disastrous.
Yeah,
That
I
is
can
the
imagine.
word. But okay, let me start with this. Most of the times, it's not the fault of the business because they might get their formulation right. I was once in that industry, so I can tell you categorically, yes. They might get their formulation right, but the problem might come from the raw materials. They might not realize that the raw materials are actually adulterated. So they might get the wrong one, do their formulation, get it right, sell it to the customers, and then boom, the customers develop rashes. However, if the customer develop rashes, it has to be proven that it is not due to the customer's skin sensitivity, but rather as a result of the product, the faultiness of the product used by the customer, or rather manufactured by this skincare formulator. So when you are being sued by a customer, just thinking about it is enough to put fear in my heart.
Yeah.
If, for instance, the customer is actually suing you for, let me say, the 10 million naira damages, unfortunately, you will pay if at the end of the day it's in our favor. So what we do is that we have an agency here in Nigeria called the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Council. Is all about it, that if you have any issue with a brand, rather than running to courts, we're trying to decongest the
Okay.
the
Yeah.
matters before the courts. We just straight go there. So we're actually trying to make people to be aware of this council, of this council, so that they can always table their matter there. There and then they'll be able to resolve the issue between them. However, and yes, you can also pay damages there too. But in this particular case, the agency will try to make you see reason why, hey, can you just be your brother's keeper for once? And you on the other side, you would have to sign an agreement that you will get all your legal matters right. So that way, both parties go home happy. They don't have to clash each other brain on social media and then call you out on social media and say, hey, I bought this thing from this person and this person paid this to me.
Yeah.
No, doesn't have to work. So all the issues have been resolved. However, if the customer or the consumer is all this high-tech personality and want to show off that, hey, do you know who I am? I'm going to sue your fucking ass. Sorry to use that word. I'm going to sue you and then get some money from you. Man, now that is sure disaster, because she will definitely get her money from you. And she might have to even go get a dermatologist to prove that, oh, it has killed her. In fact, she's as good as dead. She's a living dead. She's a corpse walking on the road as a result of your cosmetics that she applied on her skin, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Have you seen
it.
that happen before?
Very well.
Wow, wow.
Very,
It's just,
very well.
it's unfortunate, like, yes, there's both sides to the story. It's unfortunate that, there are people that are so adamant and just want to just destroy a business like that. But at the same time, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we have to protect ourselves and do the right thing. Don't cut corners, right? And from the sound of it,
Yes.
like let me ask you this. And this might be a dumb question, but if I was a beauty entrepreneur and I'm creating products, would having more tests from a third party to verify that this has been tested by, you know, X number of people, blind tests, and we verify that there's no problems or issues with this, would that help protect the business?
No, it would not.
No, okay.
Because the truth is that in the cost of registering your product with this agency, you would submit your own testing to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get a test result, they will verify your test result. Why that is so? Because some people try to cut corners.
Yeah.
So they might lie in the test results and say, oh, the test result is this. And then when the agency do their own test or do their own analysis with the product sent to them from this formulator, they come to discover that, hey, she has put hydroquinone 10% rather than the recommended 2% by the federal government or by the agency. So no, you cannot go ahead and sell this product to the market. So even if you can prove that, oh, XYZ number of persons have used this product, it might also be a lie. So they have to also they
Okay.
also
Yeah.
fight from their own angle that is actually true.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just thinking about it. The formula may change without the, you know, the agency knowing after they approve it. You know, they're getting raw materials, like you mentioned, right? They're getting raw materials. The business is getting raw materials from different places. The raw material may have changed, and that could have caused, you know, the rash or whatnot on the customer, right? So that way, so you're saying everything is case by case basis.
Yes. However, if such a case actually occurs, actually the agency can have the right to actually get a warrant to go to your storehouse,
Yeah.
get products, and then test it in line with the other customer's own. The customer has to bring hers. That is why one of the labor requirements is storage and how to store the product. If, for instance, I say store in a cool, dry place, and then my customer stores it close to the sunlight, as a result, the formulation changed. She cannot come one day and blame me that, hey, you sold the fake stuff to me, and then now I am developing rash. So everything actually depends on each case. Each case is peculiar on its own nature. So if I can prove that, hey, I didn't do this, all my products are up to standard. I have kept them away from sunlight. I have kept them on wooden shelf. Where did you store your product after buying it? That alone can actually terminate the case.
Oh,
But
okay.
But before then, they must have spent a lot of money. Which is what we're actually trying to avoid, because most beauty businesses are actually new,
Yeah.
and they're actually small and medium scale businesses,
Mm-hmm.
except for the big brands.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to start wasting a lot of money on litigations,
Yeah.
unnecessary
Yeah.
things, that you can use the money for more important things in your business.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Now this all this sounds really scary and stuff that would keep me up at night. What can a business do to best protect themselves? You know, obviously go through the agency to get your product certified and approved, right? Go through the legal means, but like legally and other aspects, like what can a business do to protect themselves the best they can, to avoid like lawsuits?
Hmm. Well, I don't know if I would say, well, unfortunately, there's really nothing they can do. But no, I don't want to sound hopeless. I actually hate
Sounds like a
hopeless.
gamble, right? Complete gamble. Like, hey, you know what? When you start a business, like you may get sued, right? And it makes sense. I mean, yeah, when any business gets bigger and bigger, eventually there will be lawsuits, right? I mean, when your business is so big, lawsuits will happen because you can't make everyone happy. But we wanted to avoid that as much as possible. So I guess what are some of the factors that we could do? I mean, you mentioned a few things already, like one, agency. Number two, making sure you have clear instructions on how to store and maintain your product, so your product doesn't get, the formula might, the product itself might change because maybe it's in the sun all day long. But I look at that as like, okay, that's one way to protect the business, is clarifying, clarifying or ways to manage your product so it doesn't get, uh, changed. So what are some of the other things that could protect can help protect the business?
They should go get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
No, serious. At least, if not for anything, on retainership, get a lawyer on retainership, and ensure that for every move, even if you cannot get one, we have law firms that actually provide pro bono services for small scale businesses or micro businesses. You can just walk up to them and tell them, oh, these are the things I want to do. They might advise you holistically, like at once, or you might say, like, okay, you know what? Let me keep you in retainership, certain amount of money every month. That way, before you take any step in your business, please run to them. They will advise you on what to do, the pitfalls to avoid, the loopholes to avoid, and then how to go about it. For instance, I was discussing with the client this afternoon, let me say around 2, 3, and she was talking about branding a business without registering it at the Corporate Affairs Commission. And I told her, you cannot brand without having a name. Jeez. What about if you finish branding, you get your website, everything is up and running, and then you're ready to register the name, and then they give you another name, or tell you that, oh, sorry, that name has been taken. What will you do? So you have to get things right. They might say that lawyers in Nigeria, they really hate lawyers. I don't know why. But we are indispensable, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
So I would.
it's necessary.
It's like a breath of fresh air. You just have to get them. You might hate them, but get them. It will help you in the long run.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's interesting because, like, I mean, in general, I don't think it's just in Nigeria or just in Africa. I think it's all over the world, right? Like, people don't like lawyers when they're getting sued, but when they're getting sued and they need help, right? They ask for a lawyer and they're able to help them, right? They're their best friend.
we are just a necessary evil. You can't do without us.
Yeah, yeah. And
That is true.
in the world, definitely it's getting more complicated. There's more regulations, across the board, and then you got technology, incorporating in that, so sometimes it might not even be related to the product yourself. You might say something, that may offend someone online, and you might get sued for that, right? So
Exactly. That crazy. But that's just the reality.
mm-hmm.
However, also I would like to point this out to you. I would like to point this out to your audience, that COVID-19 has really changed a lot of things. A lot of things. The way we usually do things have changed. For instance, people just feel like, oh, I can just go online, download the templates, an agreement on whatever I want it for, and then get it done. For instance, a distributorship agreement. I want to start distributing my products, giving it out to distributors, and then I don't need the lawyer. Just go download the thing, and then have us sign it, and then we're done. Sorry, doesn't work that way. If in the course of yes, if I assume it has been signed, everything is going on well, and then in the course of transporting this product, they get contaminated before it gets to the distributor, and then the distributor is like, okay, you know what, I don't like this, I've already paid money. Or it gets to the distributor, and then he doesn't realizes it, they start selling it, people come back sick, and then he comes to tell you that, hey, see what's going on, I don't want to continue any longer, I want my money back. What do you do? So I just want people to realize that COVID has really changed a lot of things, how we do things. So I know that they might not like to hear this, but having a lawyer by their side will really help them, particularly one that specializes in that area, in their business area. For instance, I don't do tax in any form or manner. So if you come and meet me on taxation, I will just refer you to a tax lawyer.
Yeah.
Straight. I won't waste time.
Yep.
If you come and meet me on maritime, I will say, please, oh, that's not my field. I take God beg you. I move you to a maritime lawyer. Even though, but they come and say, oh, come on, but you're a lawyer. I say, yes, I know, but it's my specialty, please.
Yeah.
Anything away from this, I'm sorry to say, I'm not a guru. I cannot advise you.
Yeah.
So just go to where you will find, please, by all means, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
If it's not cosmetics, please.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, so what you're saying is, like, you want to find a specialist, right? You don't want, like, let's say, even like there's different types of specialists in the legal area. I mean, think of doctors, right? I mean, do you want your family doctor to be operating on your heart, right? I don't think so, right? Or because there's a surgeon, there's even a surgeon has specialties, like, a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, right? So you have different specialties, and you want to find the specialist that can help you in these areas. Now, it can be really, really overwhelming, though. Like in the beginning, what are the very intro? Let's talk about like pure basics, like beauty entrepreneur. They're thinking about starting a business. What is the first lawyer they should be talking to?
The first lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, I would say a random. I don't know if I should use the word random. Just get a corporate lawyer.
Corporate lawyer.
I won't say random, sorry. Yes, a corporate lawyer would help you.
Okay.
That's the foundation stage. Get a corporate lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
They will handle all your needs. They will help you. They will advise you accordingly on what to do and how to go about it. And then after getting a corporate lawyer, some of them also, some of the corporate lawyer handle both company matters and taxation. So that is something better, 2 in 1. Because taxation is really important. Very, very. I won't advise anybody to evade or avoid taxes. No, I would not.
No, the government wants to get paid. The government wants their money.
Exactly. So just if you can get a corporate lawyer that can handle this aspect for you, hallelujah. Yeah. Then you can then move to your trademark. Down here, you have to do your trademark before you do your NADA registration.
Yeah.
So you have to get your trademark done.
Yeah.
If at that stage, at the trademark stage, you feel like, oh, I don't have enough money again for legal matters, it's okay, but just tread carefully.
Yeah.
You can start your branding from here, brand. But at the same time, just be keeping money just save enough money to get this last part done, so that you just know that I'm free indeed.
Yeah.
No more stress again.
Right. Yeah.
That is, but these are actually the basic for startup. When you're starting, these are the basic. Then in the course of the business, you have to discover that definitely having relation with people will require a lot of things. So people want to dupe you and all of that. So you have to start having different types of agreements that actually speaks um to such situation, to such matter you're trying to deal with. For instance, influencers, if you want someone to come and if you want someone to sell your product, to do a PR on your product, you actually have to get an influencer agreement on standby. But and not just any kind of influencer agreement, a beauty influencer agreement, because uh, uh, just because it's an influencer doesn't mean that it cuts across all types of it cuts across all types of influencing. No, the beauty industry has a different way of, not really different. That's maybe a little bit of one or two there to change. So a beauty influencer agreement, maybe okay, you want to start selling your product in a store. You know that okay, I need to get a beauty sale rep agreement. All those little agreement that is going to actually help you scale through any legal issues, from employer employee to independent contractor, and all those little things that we take for granted in labor law, in this and that. Just get them all settled out and sorted out. That is why I said that you should just go get a lawyer, because nobody really has time to start looking at all those details, all those nitty-gritty details. No, I don't have time for that. If I was a business owner, let me just know that everything legal is being handled by this firm or by this lawyer or by whosoever ought to handle it for us. It should just be handled by them. And they should ensure that we don't run at loss due to any form of negligence. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Makes a lot of sense. We're almost up on our time here, and we can talk all day. I mean, it's very, very interesting. And again, I want to thank you for being on the show. Now, any last bit of pointers for our audience, for our entrepreneurs? What's one thing that they should take away before from this show, if nothing else?
You should just get a lawyer. That's
Get a
all.
lawyer.
Just get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer. Just talk to one.
There's no other way to do it.
I'm curious, like percentage-wise, how many businesses actually don't even talk to a lawyer versus the ones that do, and then also compare like their success rates. Because I know in the US, they say in the first year, 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first year. That's how bad it is, how difficult it is to start a business. And then of that one that's left, or 10% essentially that's left in 5 years, 90% of those businesses fail. So, I'm curious if it's through legal issues or because they didn't talk to a lawyer, they didn't have the right foundations, in place. So, well, again, thank you so much for being on the show. How can our audience reach you?
Okay, they can reach me through my email or through my Instagram page. My Instagram account is the beauty lawyer, straight, no hyphen, nothing.
Okay,
That's a
one
beauty
word,
lawyer.
the beauty
Then
lawyer.
my email, the beauty lawyer. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Then my email is thebeautylawyerng@gmail.com.
Okay,
So they can actually reach me through those mediums,
nice.
and then it's perfectly good. I'm okay with us.
All right, great. Yeah, and as always, the information will be in the show notes. So feel free to reach out. And again, thank you for being on the show. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Hey,
Bye.
Beautypreneurs. I'm David. My team and I created a website kit for fellow entrepreneurs looking to grow their business online, whether it's e-commerce or a service-based business. We've got you covered. This will also help us continue our webcasts and provide valuable knowledge to countless beauty entrepreneurs watching. For more details, check out our website kits at beautybiz.info/website kits. If you like the videos that we make, you can support us by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Thanks. We'll see you next time.